What's up, y'all? This is Needed Talks. I'm Azel, and I'm with,
Tell them this needed talks.
and we were going to be discussing the importance of fatherhood inside of the Black community. I feel like you should start it off since you are a father.
Uh, in my opinion, it's definitely needed. I feel like the militant mindset that comes with a father, you can't get that from a mother. Um, the emotional side comes from a mother, but like the militant side on like how to be organized and structured and like grow as a man is needed for especially for a young man, even a daughter. That way she knows how to carry herself when she's dealing with like men growing up. Um, Statistically wise, it's said that um, as a single mother, they produce more as for young men. They produce more kids, more young men that go to jail versus living with a single father. And I feel like that's like I just that's sad. That's just sad. Um, you got a lot of females that stop a father from seeing their child because of their emotions, not knowing how to affect the child long term or affect the relationship period long term. Because by the time you decide to let your child spend time with their father, they probably like 12, 13 already, done sponged up so much stuff. So now when they got their father coming in their life trying to structure them on stuff, it's like they fighting against it because they already done sponged up all this stuff from their mom's side or just like not being around their father to learn these things. So they kind of like, have a fight back and forth. And I'm talking from like somewhat of an experience. Even though my father was in my life, my whole life, I was living with my dad from when I was born up until I was probably about 7, 8. And then it started going back and forth between both parents. But for some people, that ain't the case. You get what I'm saying? Some people, when they live with their mom and they reach 12, 13 or something like that, now they want the dad to get involved. Like, oh, you got to come get him. He acting bad. I can't control him. This, that, and the third. So now you putting the dad in a position to where it's like he gotta come off like mean or like very strict to try to change what the child already done sponged up. Even with a daughter, she probably done soaked up so much from her mom's side to the point where now it's like when you want the dad to come in and teach her how to be a lady, how to carry herself around men and in society, it makes it hard because she done listen to music, she done got all the influence from other people because again, some females lead with emotions and keeping the father away from their child. So it just it I just I, it, they definitely fathers are definitely needed in the Black community, like hands down.
100%. Like the importance of fatherhood inside of the Black community is like obviously something that's extremely important. Like I feel like every child deserves and needs to kind of be in a two-parent household or at least have two parents in their lives. I feel like missing one or the other is just bound to have problems because from a man and woman standpoint, I feel like we both, in a way, need each other. So, in order to also raise a child properly, you're going to need each other. For me, I don't have any kids. I don't have any kids or nothing like that. But I did have my father. I do have my father in my life. I don't even say did. I do have my father in my life. So my parents, they were even married. They did divorce, but regardless, I was able to grow up with both parents and having my dad in my life kind of help shape me and be able to, step through life and understand certain things. You know what I mean? Being able to have a male perspective. He's definitely the reason why I got into certain things that I love today. Whether it's talking about sports or music and stuff like that, and little things like that is why it's important to have a father in the household because without that, you're just missing that guidance. You're missing that other perspective and everything like that because regardless, sometimes men and women can be different. So you can't necessarily just go to your mother about everything. Your mother is not necessarily going to give you the best advice for everything, and neither is your father. And that's why you got to be able to use both of them. And the more we kind of get headset on making sure that's a staple in the Black community, I feel like that's going to be part of the growth in the Black community. I feel like we give a lot of leeway to people for not being active fathers at times, and that's a problem. Like I understand the aspect of, sometimes talking to women and saying, choose better men, but sometimes we need to get on the man's ass about being a father regardless. Some of them use things as an excuse, and you need to be in that house. You need to be talking to your child, calling your child, be there for your child. There shouldn't be as many fathers that we have in society today that tend to be lazy or tend to have so many bad stories with their kids because you don't really want to try to be there. It's one of the most important jobs and one of the most important duties that we can have in our community. And if we don't begin to get on a lot of men's ass also for being in the household, being there for their child, then we're never really going to grow. So accountability does need to be taken on both sides. I understand choosing better men, but men need to be better men at the same time. And once we kind of, bridge that gap and figure that out, we're going to see a lot of growth in the community. So to me, it definitely is a major thing. Even from me being a football coach, I understand sometimes for some kids, I might be like a father figure for them. So I take coaching for me as a very important thing when it comes down to teaching the kids certain things such as discipline, ways to talk, ways to handle themselves, ways to keep the composure, all those kind of things. Because at the end of the day, they do need other men in their lives. They need their fathers. They need father figures. So that's a big thing in the community. We need to get together and we need to figure out, because if not, nothing's really going to happen. So that's kind of my perspective on, fatherhood inside of the Black community.
And I don't want to I don't want to totally take away from mothers, because I mean they definitely, there's some mothers out there that produce millionaires as kids from their kids. They got mothers that they kids go to college and be successful. So I don't want to totally take away from that, but like the majority wise, like in the city that we live in, I would say 90%, 95% of men is not active in their homes, or like not really in their child life. And they probably live 5 minutes away, or could probably be 5 minutes a phone call away, and still won't really be active. So like he said, we definitely got to hold a lot of men accountable, because even if it's just a phone call, everything counts. You ain't got to always have money to be able to, oh, I ain't got no money right now, I don't want to see my child. Like, nah, you can see a child regardless. You could call, check on them. That might brighten up your child day. You never know. So, yeah, I don't want to just totally take away from mothers, but statistically wise, yeah, it's not a good look.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not for real.
Ready? Okay, the next question is, why do men with multiple children from different women choose which child life to be in? Correct? Okay. Um, I don't know. It could be a ton of different reasons. Like, I know some men that it'd be emotions from both sides. It might be, okay, she might be mad that I had a child over here, so now she want to keep me away. So some men be like, you know what? All right, I ain't gonna worry about that. You want to keep me away? That's your child. You worried about it. I'm gonna take care of the one's lives that I could be in. Or it could be the men where it's like, you know what? You don't want to be with me? That ain't my child then. So it could be a ton of reasons. I mean, I don't respect none of them, honestly. I'm just being honest. Like I just wasn't raised like that, like to pick and choose. Like yeah. I don't get that. That's just hard to like really comprehend, in my opinion.
That's an insane like concept. I feel like choosing to be a good father to one family while choosing not to be a good father to the other. Yeah, that's just, a lot of men don't want to say it, but y'all be emotional. Like, y'all just real, like, y'all just emotional. Whether it's exactly she don't want to be with you, so now you trying to show out on her with the next family, or you feel like y'all beefing. At the end of the day, your emotions should never get in the way of a child's life, though. I don't give a damn how much you hate the lady, bro. You got a child. So once you have a child, you got to figure something out, at least with the kid. I don't give a damn how you feel about your being, bro. You have to figure that out. But, that's just an insane concept. Like, you a sick nigga. I'm a sick person if you do anything of that sort.
Now, to Now, when we speaking on that, would you agree that most men, okay, let's just in our generation, most men that lead with emotions were in a single parent household with a mother.
Wait, say it one more time.
So okay, most men that's our age right now that got kids that go off of that, like, oh no, they react with emotions, like, oh no, I'm not being there for that child. Would you say that most of them grew up in a single parent home, which they most likely live with their mother, and females, they lead with emotions. So it's like when you raising a son and you constantly in the house with him and you yell, sit down, you leading with emotions. So now when he get older, he only know how to react with his emotions. So would you kind of say like that? That's like a what? That's something he sponged up from when he was a child.
For me personally, I would say no, because not to put out too much of my business or whatever happened with me and my parents, but for a good grip, I did grow up with my mother, and I feel like she taught me how to not lead with emotions, like kind of handle my emotions a lot better logically. So from my experience, no, but I do understand what you're saying, because for my mom could just be a special case. So
the majority.
Exactly. So there is a good chance that certain people were missing out on certain men in their lives, or certain experience in their lives, where they don't understand that just because you get emotional, you don't mean you got to take it to the deep end.
Yeah.
And you do recognize that as a pattern with with some women in society, where it's like once they get in their bag, once they get in their emotions, they gonna take it there. Like they gonna take it to the furthest extent. So that kind of rubbing off on a lot of men now in the society. It's like you lead to doing stuff like that. You trying to show up your baby mom by being petty. Like that's a bitch. That's it. That's a woman's trait to do. Why you trying to show out? Now you trying to post the kid more, knowing like you want her to see. It's like, all right, bro, why are you operating that way? I'm gonna post the kid, so then when my big mom see, I got him something for Christmas, I ain't get him.
You
shit.
Ain't get the other child. Like, that's I said, I don't respect that. I don't respect that. Because that just, even if you buy it and she like, no, don't get, he can't have it. At least you got it for whenever you do get your child or see your child again. Even if it's a year or 2 years down the line, your child gonna know like, oh yeah, he got me this 2 years ago. So at least when they grow up, they can at least try to like, see the difference, view things from different perspectives versus just viewing it from one side. Like, oh, nah, he not there, he ain't do nothing. Like in my case, it was a point in time where like I wasn't able to see my son, and I just viewed it as I gotta do everything that in my power to see my son, like, because I don't want him to get older and be like, did you do everything you could to see me? So in that case, I want to be able to say, yeah, I did everything I could. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So some people give up. Some people like, man, I ain't dealing with that. I ain't going back and forth with her or whatever. Like, no, that don't.
And they need their ass beat.
You get what I'm saying? Like that don't make no sense.
You give up on a child, you need some kind of consequences, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I think if you give up on a child, you need something got to happen to you.
I can't trust you.
Yeah, at all.
I can't trust you. You gave up on your own child. Why would I be chilling next to a man that you gonna give up on me?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? When it's time for you to support me with something, you gonna give up.
Yeah, I think society's kind of gotten too, well, not gotten because maybe they were always. I don't know how they were in the past, but I noticed in my time period, like we are very accepting of people being deadbeat fathers, which to me is really crazy. Like I can't imagine one of my friends or somebody that I'm close to having a child, not taking care of that child, and I'm just sitting here kicking it with you, like
calling him a real nigga.
Yeah, like posting you, that's my bro. Happy Father's Day. You're not even there, bro. So I think that's like I'm kind of going back to the first thing where I was saying they got to be held accountable. Like we got to stop acting like they just normal. Like nah, bro, you walking around not taking care of your kid. You can't just
and
be
you
chilling.
asked me, yo, we going to the club tonight.
Yeah, no. Call your child.
Yeah, call your child. Check on your child first. Let me see you call your child.
No cap.
Or at least an attempt. And even if she say no, at least I can be a witness and be like, man, you get what I'm saying? Like my boy trying.
Because I can't imagine like that. That's a weird trait to have. Not taking care of your kid. Nah, you can't be my friend. You can't be nobody. I'm chopping it up.
Word, I can't trust you.
No way. No way.
I can't trust you or respect you.
Nah, for sure.
Solid combo. All right.